What's up, YouTube? We're in front of Smiley, and today we are interviewing. Oh shit, my bad, wrong picture.
Ready!
And also,
Jonesy, Shadowbuzz Company.
In the face to do it,
no, not at all.
or
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast.
Oh yeah, Mr. Beast.
So we're gonna have a tub of like $1 billion right here. We're just gonna say, "Give it here. It's all yours." We're gonna be that famous because of you, Sir Al Yankovic.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Mastermind.
Well, you don't. You're just mastermind. Okay.
Yeah.
You're just mastermind.
Dude, I'm the genius behind it all.
Oh, all right, Mr. Mastermind. I don't. AKA don't have a name.
Mega Mind, we'll call you.
I'll sit up because I think it looks cooler if I sit up. Like I'm confident. I want to be confident. Let's be confident.
Let's do this.
Let's do this weird.
All right.
Can I just call you weird?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. How did the Jonesy Shuttle Bus Company get its start?
How I got to start? Well, back in the day, and 23 years ago, I was working. I just moved up here from Kansas, and I heard about this thing called the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, and they want to hire big guys, and I'm a big guy, so I became a security guard at the Thunderdome, which was the first year it was open, and I worked nights, and when it was boring and slow, I saw people waiting. There was like a bus system that was here, but they had like 2 or 3 buses. People wait 2 to 3 hours for a bus. I was like, guys, you guys are sober now. You can drive now probably. But on my breaks, I decided, what the heck? So I went and jumped in my car when I had a break and pulled up to I had a little Ford Escort, pulled up and said, hey, as many people can get in my car, $5 a person get in my car, I'll give you a ride, because it was only 3 miles down into town and back. I could do that on break a couple different times. So I started doing that, and then I kind of saw a need, and then next thing I know, there's somewhere right down the street that had an old bus for sale, and I bought it, and just said, what the heck? Started driving around, just started yelling out the window at people like, hey, $5 a ride, get in, I'll give you a ride. That's how we did it. We ended up getting a marker and marking my personal cell phone number on the side of the van, side of the bus, and started just driving around, and that's how it started, and it just kind of grew from there.
Do you think the golden wristbands are like a really good option for people to buy?
Yes, it is really a good option. Actually, if you follow us on Facebook and all of our social media, we start out in January, they're only $65, and then we slowly increase it. We have a party? Because now during the rally, they're $95. So,
what inspired you to start a transportation business, especially one serving events like Sturgis?
Well, I'm not a drinker. I've never drank in my life, and I kind of feel it as a calling, I guess. As I've always been a DD guy. Always, if someone needs a safe ride, I'll be there. And I saw the need here, especially when you go. Right now, even today, you drive through downtown. Well, not downtown, but just drive into town. You'll see 20 different guys pulled over and getting DUIs and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, you know what, I can help with this, and that's what my calling is, to be a sober driver. So I decided, that's what I need to do.
Perfect.
Was it really that good? Was it really that perfect?
Oh yeah, it was great.
Well, good. Well, then I'm gonna keep this perfect streak alive.
How many buses and drivers do you typically have running during the rally?
Okay, so this year we have 12 vehicles, and that's including buses and full-size vans. And then we actually have a minivan and a flex, and then a little truck this year. We usually end up using all of our vehicles to pick up somebody at one point or another.
How long have you been operating at the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally?
Well, this is my 23rd year of operating at the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. So, yeah, we've grown a little bit.
Was that just with the Jonesy name, or were you operating before that without the name?
To be honest, I got to go back and look. I'm thinking if I go that first year, we didn't have a name. So I can't remember if it's 23 years counts that, or is it 20? Say it's 2025. So yeah, it's 1 year with no name, and then 23 years under the Jonesy name.
How long have you been operating at the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally?
Well, the Jonesy Party Buses, this is the 23rd year. Yep.
Wow. How do you prepare for the chaos and size of Sturgis each year?
Well, I first started not sleeping.
Yeah.
I started to get my sleep rotation of not sleeping because I don't sleep a lot at during Sturgis. Um, but preparation for this event is year round. It's from trying to find new buses because I wish I could say I could afford to buy brand new buses, but every year I got to replace a bus. This bus I I try to play as personal mechanic as much as possible. This year I actually have an official mechanic, but um, I try to fix things as best as I can until they don't work no more. Then I got to retire them, and then throughout the year I'm always looking for a new bus or new things I can get that are within my budget. Yeah, I could go find $50,000 buses all over the place, but then there's no way as a small business and keeping my rates low, there's no way I could get those kind of buses. So I'm always out there looking for buses, but then trying to find things to way to fix the buses I have, and then also I'd love to think outside the box. So if I could find a bus, last year I had a bus with bubbles in it that was blowing bubbles and things like that. We had different buses doing different things. I like to think outside the box. That's what makes our buses so interesting. None of our buses are cookie cutters buses. Every time we put a bus, yeah, they'll have a pole and they'll have seats in it, but then from that we can have all kinds of different things. And I'm willing, as people give me ideas, hey, how your bus has a disco ball. We've had disco balls. We've had, like I said, bubbles. We've had all kinds of different things. So we're always trying to keep our minds open to new things.
How do you prepare for the chaos and size of Sturgis each year?
um, a lot of stress, a lot of no sleep. That's how we prepare. But to prepare for it, there's a lot that goes into it. It's kind of year round. We start advertising in January for wristbands, and then as soon as we can, we get our vendor's license, and then we're constantly looking for new buses and fixing buses throughout the year and preparing that way, and then looking for the best employees too.
What makes the Sturgis Rally different from any other events you've served?
Well, what's so cool about Sturgis and why my business works in Sturgis, and I haven't really gone too much to other rallies, is because the town is so small. It's 6,000 people. Close to 1 million people come every year. So everyone stays outside of town and comes and goes back and forth. Like I've looked at Daytona and those kind of things where it's spread out huge, and it's big cities and everything's spread. But Sturgis is so unique because it's such a small town, and everyone stays on the outside of town, and you just go in and out, back and forth, and that's what makes my business work here. And how I can just charge a flat fee, don't worry about mileage because it's just back and forth in a 10-mile square that we can do it here. In Daytona, there's just no way we'd be driving a person 100 miles across town and then trying to figure out rates and all that kind of stuff. But it works great here at Sturgis.
What makes the Sturgis Rally different from other events you've served?
Well, the Sturgis Rally is really the only one that Jonesy Bus does. But we've looked into other rallies, and there's just nothing else set up like Sturgis as far as like compact and close knit, where it's like all the campgrounds are close, and then there's one centralized place in town.
Awesome. Can you share your most wild Sturgis story?
I'm a forward thinker, and I'm terrible at telling stories. But I have to say the craziest thing I've ever had was I had from the TV show. I don't know if I can say the show, but I'm gonna say it anyways. You can blurb it out later, whatever. Um, Deadliest Catch. I've had their cast and crew on my bus, and they are the Phil's son he came up to me and said, our life expectancy is 6 months. So guess what? We're gonna party as hard as we can because we might die tomorrow. And they sure the heck did. They were on my bus before the sun was still up, and they were on my bus when the sun went down and the sun came back up, and they were still partying on my bus. And I finally said, guys, I have to be back to work in 2 hours, and you're still on my bus, and I still have to do all my business owner stuff. I got to do all this stuff. I need you to get off my bus. And they had my bus tipping, rocking, and they were slamming against the wall. They had a competition of spinning on the pole, then letting go of the pole and watch the guy fly up against right up by me. I'm like, what the heck was that? Oh, he went the farthest. I was like, all right, that was the craziest. Just wow, there's some hard partiers. So that was a pretty crazy show.
Don't forget about the guy you caught up the window.
Oh well, yeah, there's that one. That was actually off my first official year. Um, I'm doing Jonesy. We're still yelling out the windows, and my first bus had big old windows that you could slide open, and you can climb out and climb in really easily. So we would sit there, yell at people and things like that. And so I had a guy sit out there yelling, screaming at people and getting attention. And next thing you know, he passed out outside the window. So he fell. I was driving. He kind of kicked me, and I grabbed his foot. Luckily, instead of pushing away, I grabbed it. And I kind of saved his life, you could say, because he passed out. And I was holding his foot. I'm driving. So then I have to get pulled over, and then we pull this guy back into the bus because, yeah, we figured out, if you're that drunk, don't be sticking your head out the window screaming at people because you never know when you're going to pass out. And that's what happened. And that's actually on our cartoon bus that we have. You'll see a guy hanging out the window, and there's something tied to his foot. I couldn't figure out how to get like an arm on it. So, but that's kind of a picture of something that really did happen on our bus.
Can you share a wild or memorable story from the past rallies?
That's a question we get asked a lot by people, and I usually like, what kind of crazy do you want to hear? Because we've been doing it so many times that sometimes the crazy just becomes the normal.
Right,
so it's
right.
not super crazy anymore. But as far as like, a lot of our stories that I hear, because I'm not on the buses, but I know one of our drivers was hearing commotion. He looked back and he saw a couple having sex on the door, and then it actually broke out the window on one of the buses. So that one's always memorable to tell.
How many buses and drivers do you typically have running during a rally? And what kind of safety measures do you take during events like this?
You better edit that part out.
Yeah.
Well, we try to make our buses as safe as possible. Make sure that all the emergencies you can get out front, back, sides, wherever you need to. That the buses have all the safety equipment that you need to have, as from fire extinguishers to triangles and all that kind of stuff. We always try to have a crew of 2 people on the buses. So we have the driver in, and we call it a beer girl, but she's more of a beer. Not beer. She's more of a bus attendant. Like, she makes sure everyone is happy, everyone's safe, and if someone's starting to feel sick or whatever, that you take care of them to make sure that they're taken care of right. But this year we have the most buses. We have 8 not full size, but 8 full-time buses going. Then we're going to have 4 rental vans, full, transit vans. We got some minivans, and we have a micro van, and all that kind of stuff going on.
With alcohol, how hard is it to try and keep the safety of the customers, especially while they're very, very drunk?
So we have a great team. We always have our driver is our bouncer of the bus, and so we teach them that they can use like the brakes of the bus to get people's attention if there ever is an issue. And then they're allowed to pull over wherever they're at to be able to get up to help to control any kind of commotion that might be happening. And then we have a beer girl on board that is also the eyes of the bus, and she is the eyes for the driver too. But her goal is to not only sell the alcohol that we have on board, but to watch and control the atmosphere. And then if there is any problems that arise, to notify the driver right away.
How do you manage the high volume of riders, especially at night when people are drinking?
How do we handle them? Well, our call center, I gotta give my sister Betty credit, is she gets the brunt of all the craziness of of phone calls, trying to answer calls, call waiting, trying to get everyone answered. And that's one reason why we try to get two people there, so that she's answering phones while the other one's calling their drivers, because we try to dispatch our drivers to wherever we need to go. But we try to get um, as many people on our buses as possible to get them home as fast as possible. Um, nice thing about really, Betty? Oh, look, I'm on the camera. I'm live. I'm live right now.
Do you have any cash?
I don't. I have put it on. I filled up the bus last night.
Okay.
I have. If I could use a card, or if I need to go to the ATM machine. All right, we're back. Hey, we're back. I'm with Weird. Okay, what was the question? Okay, so we talked about
the high volume of riders and stuff.
High volume of riders. Well, we there's some buses, and we try to keep it an open area, so we get as many people as we can in the buses to get them home as fast as possible. And that's the thing we're changing a little bit. Like at the Buffalo Chip, we're gonna have someone up there to help organize a little better, so that we have buses. We don't have buses assigned to certain areas, but at the Buffalo Chip, we're going to try to say this bus is going to the Full Throttle Glencoe. This bus is going to go to Van Nocker and Days End area, kind of thing. And that's what we're going to try to, so that we get organized, so we get people on the right buses to get them home as fast as possible. So that's one thing we're going to be doing this year, to try to hopefully not get one person on the bus that needs to go to Days End campground, and everyone else is going to do the Full Throttle, which is, if you don't know, are opposite sides of the town.
So we just keep getting bigger and bigger. This year we have almost 35 employees.
Wow. It's time for the more hard-hitting questions.
Well,
how many times do you have to bust a move during Sturgis?
Well, at least 7 times a day. I mean, I've danced on the buses. Last year I did the worm across the alley behind the Iron Horse. I've done. It keeps it fun. That's what keeps it. It's great. It's not like it's it's all business and no play. We like to have a good time, and that's what I do.
Do you think it is all right for employees to also be able to manage partying while having fun at Sturgis, but also making sure they do their work?
Well, yeah, because everyone's here. They want to have fun. But it can be tricky. Some people don't know how to separate it and balance it. But because we are the DD service, so we have to make sure that we're sober too.
Right.
And so we tell our drivers that they're welcome to drink after their shift is over. But then they've got to at least have a good 10 hours of being sober before they get behind the wheel again. So they've just got to manage that. And we have, and the same with our beer girls too. We don't allow them to drink either, because they're handling money, they're handling people, and so they've got to stay sober. And but it's we have had drivers show up under the influence, and same with beer girls, and we've had to send them packing.
Right.
Yeah, there's no tolerance for it.
How's the relationship between the Iron Horse and Jonesy?
The relationship between us, it is great, because they know that we are bringing them as many customers as safely as possible to their front door, and they love that. So that's why we get to exclusive to be in the alley to drop them off. That's why we work with their campground to get people, from their campground into them and things like that. So it is great. We definitely work hand to hand.
On average, how many customers do we get on the buses throughout the whole year, if you know?
Throughout the whole year?
Well, through the 2 weeks.
Right. Well, that is our year.
Yeah.
That's hard to say. I mean, per night, there can be anywhere between, when we pick up concerts, you can pick up 40 at a time. And then you do that a couple different times, just concert time. And then, so I would say, if I had to just roughly estimate off the top of my head, I would say 100 a night per bus, 8 buses, so that's 800 a night times 10. So
800 lives being saved
eight-
tonight.
Yeah, 800 a night, 8,000 for the rally. Yeah.
Yeah. How many buses have you saved from the brink of death?
All of them? No, not all of them. But from the brink of death. Now you death like either like the engine's going to blow up, but we were able to fix it to make it run, or are you talking about brink of death like getting stuck somewhere?
I'd say kind of both. Like if the some parts were just like completely messed up. How like you got those fixed, and yeah, I know we've had to pull a couple buses sometimes.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, we've like I said, I can't keep our prices low. There's no way I can get really nice buses, so I've had to do some calls in the midnight to calling in favors to people that from the guys that knew how to weld, our professional welders. I know I'd call them up and like, hey, what do I gotta get you to help me fix this part so it can run, or to people from running across state in the middle of the night, or I've been up all night fixing a bus so it can be ready to run by 9 o'clock in the morning. I've done lots of that, lots of them. I mean, a lot. I can't even put a number on how many buses I've got to do that with.
You work harder than most of us, even party. How do you keep that chill energy without snapping at us?
I can't promise you I won't snap, but I try not to. You know what? I have to say I thrived for the. I like the panic. I like the.
Well, it's a stressful time.
Yeah, I like the problems. I'm a problem solver. I went to school to be an engineer. I didn't quite get there, but that's what brought me to South Dakota. It's trying to, because as an engineer you are trying to reinvent the wheel kind of thing, but you're trying to find new ways to make things work, and that's when you have a problem and you have to figure a way to solve it. Let the DJ revolve it. I think there's a song. Oh, maybe it's about my life. We're a bust a move right here. But we uh, we that's what I strive for. I love the panic, but also the problem solving that we get. That okay, this is something that we got to get done. We got to figure it out. Let's all get together and figure it out.
Awesome. Is there anything you'd like to say to people before we go?
Be prepared for a wild show, because they truly want to show. This crew here truly shows us what the Jonesy experience is. Tell you what, it's going to be something that people are going to watch over and over, because I tell you what, it's a wild show.
People got to hop on your bus. You're the party guy. You're the original party man.
Yeah, I like to have a good time, and with no alcohol, I can do all kinds of crazy stuff. So.
All right, I think that's it.
Yeah.